Hello everyone. Today I want to share with you some of the supplements and the dietary changes that we made for Caden, and I hope that maybe some of them will work for you. I want you to know that everything that we try with Caden, we researched first for a great deal of time. Some of the things that we used, for example, essential oils, that really didn't see that much of a difference. So we tried them, but when we didn't see the difference, we didn't want to use the money on that because there were some other things that worked better for him. So, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. Most of the supplements that we tried, we may not have seen much difference, but the three I'm going to share with you today, we saw a great deal of difference, and we've continued using them. I also wanted you to know that every supplement or even dietary change that we made, we conferred with a pediatrician or we conferred with a friend who is a pharmacist. So we wanted to make sure that everything was completely safe, and all the things I'm going to show you today are safe. So I'm going to start with the supplements first. One of the supplements that we use is Carlson's cod liver oil, and it is a huge source of omega-3. And children with autism, on the autism spectrum, they are not able to, their bodies aren't able to absorb vitamins or minerals and things that they need for growth and development in the brain the way that we do. So I had read several articles on cod liver oil and how it decreased stimming in some children and then also increased awareness. And so we tried this with Caden, and we decided to do it for a month period of time, every day, 1 teaspoon for a month, and we did that. And we noticed quickly that his stimming decreased. And so what we did is we did not tell anyone that we were trying it, and we waited and found that his teachers and some of the therapists had noticed that his stimming had decreased. And so cod liver oil was really good for us for that. I chose Carlson's because they do a great deal of the compounding, and they make sure that all of their products are mercury free and that they're safe. There's even a seal on here for freshness and purity and potency, and it says promotes healthy brain, vision, and joint health. My brother takes cod liver oil just because he is a health fanatic, and it's really made him feel good. So cod liver oil is one of those things that it can't hurt them. Initially, when we started this, because Caden was very finicky, I would put it in his juice, orange juice, and he didn't notice that it was in there. Now he's a little bit more aware of those things, so I just tell him it's a medication he has to take. We do a teaspoon a day, and he does fine with it. Another thing that we do is Culturelle probiotics, and these you can just get them at Walmart. Cod liver oil, the Carlson's I order on Amazon. These I also order on Amazon, but these are just little packets. You want to keep them cool, don't let them get too hot, and you just tear the packet off and pour it into whatever it is they're drinking, or you can even put it in a food, as long as it's something that's cool and not hot. I think the heat must damage the probiotics, but some people believe that children with autism, that it starts in the gut, and so we use this just to help with general health, overall health, bowel issues, and things like that, and just kind of another thing that makes him feel good, and it's completely safe. The last supplement I want to share with you was the one that we saw the biggest difference in, and I actually had read a book about B12 and how children on the spectrum did not absorb B12, and so after speaking with my pharmacy friend, I found out that if it was too much B12, if his body was getting B12 and this was too much, that he would just lose it in his urine. So the kind of B12 that we got is Pure Advantage B12. It's a methylcobalamin. I'm not sure how you say that, but and we spray 2 sprays of it. I think the most important thing is that it is that it is the B12, the sublingual kind. We spray 2 sprays under his tongue. It doesn't really taste bad or anything, so he doesn't seem to care. But what happened with this stuff, we started using it, we'd spray it under his tongue, and a couple days went by and we really didn't pay that much attention. And then one evening, after, again, we were going to try it for a month, after about a week or 2 of using it, my husband said, "Wow, Caden really has said a lot of words today. Did you notice that?" And I thought, now I think about it, he's been doing that for a couple of days. And so again, I went back to, what have we tried different? Oh, it's the B12, and we continue to use that. And steadily with this, we have seen increase. And again, it's Pure Advantage, and we get it on Amazon. And it's not very expensive, and it lasts for quite a while, but we do the 2 sprays under his tongue every morning. Those 3 supplements, the cod liver oil, the probiotics, and the B12 have shown the biggest improvement for Caden. The other thing is the casein and gluten-free diet. We tried the casein first because, again, you want to separate them so that you know which one is having the impact or not. On a casein-free diet, we couldn't tell any difference whatsoever. Gluten-free, we saw a huge difference. Caden was almost wild, like a child on a great deal of caffeine that doesn't get caffeine when he would get gluten. The stimming would increase, his attention span decreased, he was just kind of wild. And so we started the gluten-free, and initially I thought this is going to be difficult because gluten is wheat. It's in everything. But it is very simple. If you go to your local grocer, and we have a Food City here, but I know Walmart and some of the other places now have a section of gluten-free items. But we buy the Char bread, the white bread, and we actually get it in the freezer section because it's frozen. But it's not like so hard that you can't just pop a piece off. I put it in the microwave for 20 seconds and I can toast it. I can make grilled cheese with it. I can make a sandwich with it. I've even ate it myself. It tastes like any other regular white piece of bread. It's a little bit smaller, not much, but it's gluten-free, so, and he can't tell the difference. Another thing that I did, Caden loves macaroni and cheese. So we found these Mueller's gluten-free, again, just at a regular old Food City grocery store, and I've seen them at Walmart's before. And what I do is I buy the Kraft mac and cheese. I replace the Kraft mac and cheese noodles with this. We still use the same powdered cheese because he seems to like that for some reason. Or I've even used the Velveeta cheese with it before. But you can make macaroni and cheese. The noodles do not taste any difference. When I make spaghetti, here's another Mueller's gluten-free. And I just like Mueller's because for some reason, some of the gluten-free will the noodles will kind of stick a little bit even with oil or cooking spray, but this one doesn't seem to do that. And when I make spaghetti, I just make all of us spaghetti using this because it tastes the same. You can't tell the difference. And then chicken nuggets, you know, most kids like that. Tyson makes a gluten-free breaded chicken breast nugget, and it's delicious. He loves them. And so this is easy, quick, 16 minutes in the oven, and they're baked. And that's also, I found that at Food City in the freezer section. I've also taken chicken breast and I've cut them up into little small squares, taken an egg and mixed the egg in a little bit, just maybe a teaspoon of milk, and kind of put the chicken in it, crushed up chips. All chips are gluten-free for the most part. If you look, they'll say right on there. There's a few that aren't, but I bake plain chips, and usually the baked ones, and I would break them up, and then I would roll the chicken in them and bake them 375 for 25 minutes, and that was the way we were making homemade gluten-free chicken nuggets. But these were just a lot more simple and easy, and he likes them just as good. French fries are gluten-free, you know, unless they have some kind of preservative on them. I'm sorry, unless they have some kind of seasoning on them, I meant. But if you look now, most items will say right on them gluten-free, and so you'll know quickly. And lots of times, like in the noodle section, there'll be it's with all the rest of the noodles, and there's your gluten-free noodles. The bread's a little trickier to find. Sometimes it's out in the bread aisle, or sometimes in a special gluten-free aisle. And at our Food City or in our Walmart, it's always in the freezer section, I guess because they don't sell as great amount. But there's also cookie mix, brownie mix, cake mix, pre-made cookies, pre-made cakes. There's pancake mix. I mean, you would not be surprised if you went and looked at how easily it would be to go gluten-free. So these are just a couple of things that we have found that really truly make a difference for us, enough to where we continue with them. So I'm going to recommend that you try some of these things one thing at a time, see what works for you. Hopefully something that was shared today will work, and until all the pieces fit, we'll keep working. Thanks.